Cancer, hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, any channeled messages, and some Ayurvedic tidbits, holistic wellness. So let's get into it. I hope that you're doing well. I hope life is treating you well. These are always timeless readings. I do talk about the astrology when I'm recording it. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind, never force anything. So with that in mind, we're about to enter into Gemini season. Last few days of Taurus. Taurus has been giving us the opportunity to kind of rebalance our life situations, especially with things that we kind of discovered during Aries season about ourselves, about our situation, what's going on in our life, things that we didn't like or we're trying to make adjustments around to kind of better situations for self. And like I said, it doesn't mean that Taurus season hasn't been without its challenges. Definitely the transits have been pretty quiet, giving us an opportunity to find that grounding and stability. But it also, does bring up certain triggerings. We had kind of a rough new moon in Taurus recently. And as we're moving into Gemini season, it's definitely going to quicken the pace. It's going to, I like where we're going because it is bringing in more options, more opportunities, especially in places that things have been pretty stagnant or nothing's happening, or we keep hitting the same roadblock over and over and over again. Some of that is going to be shifting and readjusting, whether people are changing their mind about things or if it's more of an energy of them not changing their mind. And so other options are coming in. So there is hope on the horizon. But we also have to make sure that we're not misusing the energy, I guess, in the way that certain things, especially if they're not working, they can be interpreted as though it's a negative or a bad thing. Like sometimes we need a little bit of a shakeup. We need an upheaval in order to get that new thing in the door. That's actually more in alignment with what we're trying to manifest, with what we're trying to draw into our life. So I feel like there's a lot more of that kind of dance happening. And Gemini is all about community, communication, connecting with people in our day-to-day environment. So it's a great time for networking, for establishing self, etc. We have a full moon end of the month in Sagittarius, and that's all about expansion. It's all about one-upping oneself, just stepping up your game, expanding to new horizons, new territories, etc. And so again, lots of possibility, lots of potential on the horizon. I always like to start off my readings with an energy cleansing just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. If it's not your thing, no worries. Usually I have the chapters. Well, I always have the chapters, usually the timings, right? If it's not, I apologize, but you can totally skip ahead is what I'm getting at. I like to just cleanse the energy, set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out any places we might feel blocked or limited. It's also a really good time to set your own intention as well, especially if you do have something on your heart or mind that you want Spirit to deliver messages to around. Definitely give it over, be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're more interested in a realignment of self, your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. So when we're aligned in self, when we're grounded in self, that's where we're tapping into our happiness, our fulfillment, our abundance. And I would love to help support that for you in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it, Cancer. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being, so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, Guardian angels, mama love. All right, Cancer, you feel like you're cleaning house. Like even before I started this reading, I was hearing this, like you're not putting up with anyone's BS. You very much have your own success, your own victory in the forefront of your mind. It's not a specific FU to anybody. I don't get that vibe. I think it's just like you're tired. I am hearing like you are tired of people's BS. Like you don't really want to put up with it anymore. And so you are setting heavier boundaries, heavier standards. I think you're being a little bit more honest and realistic with yourself. And even in the places that you're not certain exactly what you want, how you want things to move forward, you are reminding yourself that you want to gain the necessary information accordingly. So overarching energy this week is slow down as I say that, right? Because it's funny, like as I'm tapping into your energy, you feel very buttoned up. You feel very dialed in. Like you feel very efficient is what I was hearing in the beginning as well. So whatever you are doing, however you are refining, whatever cuts you're making here and there, it's actually working and it's working towards your benefit. There might be some pieces of the puzzle that you're missing because you are moving rather quickly. So just be really mindful of that, which I know is going to be easier said than done, especially as we're moving into Gemini season. But remember, these are just for like the week, you know. We get the messenger. I'm not going to take it right now because too many fell out, but I'm like, what I'm hearing is you're paying close attention to conversations and communications you're having. Like I was just talking about, like who and what you're talking to, what they're saying, keeping things neutral 100%, not putting too much weight, too much stock into anything. This is more of a period of time where you're gathering information, gathering the necessary information. Yeah, 100% with this harvest, so that you can be really clear about what you are trying to get out of life, whatever that looks like for you, whatever your goals are, whatever successes you're trying to achieve. I think that there, like what I'm hearing is certain things have gotten in the way. They've made the understanding of what this looks like for you a little cloudy, a little bit fuzzy. I feel like you're also still dealing with some energies that are contributing to that as well. So again, be mindful. The compass really speaks to this vibe of needing to listen to your own internal light first. It reminds me of the Hermit card in the tarot, where it's not as much about getting advice from outside people as it is about really listening to what your heart wants. And it might not be the logical thing. It might not be the sensical thing. I love how they have it depicted with that maze, because it reminds me that like you can go in a direction that you think is right and then hit a dead end, hit a brick wall, that type of vibe. Oh, and there's our messenger. And I did shuffle, right? Should I put it back in? I thought I shuffled. Who knows? Who knows? Sorry, sometimes I just get so into what is being channeled. Okay, so nourishment is in your blocked energy. Well, that makes a lot of sense with that vibe of just needing to slow down a little bit. I don't know. Like I'm feeling a little bit like you're missing out, or like you wasted time, or maybe you're kicking yourself because you feel like you've wasted time in a certain way. Maybe as it pertains to love relationships, you could have a dynamic that is just changing, that's looking different, some type of partnership. It doesn't have to be love if that's not what you're looking for, if you're happily situated in that department. But Two of Cups, it can be as well, because Two of Cups well, I'll say it's partnership. Let's put that on the baseline. And something is offering you some type of partnership. I don't know how you feel about it though. Like this feels a little bit like you're on the fence about something, or like I think you're also questioning whether or not you want it with this Page of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. Because Page of Cups is always a small offer. It's like, I'll give you a little bit of something, but it's not going to be like the Queen or King of Cups, where there's more emotional investment, there's more emotional maturity, so they can give a little bit more, right? But the Page of Cups is a little bit, it's not baby vibes, but it has a a younger energy around it. And I feel like this is more you not wanting to overstep. It's not about making someone else feel uncomfortable either. This is more about like you feeling comfortable about how much you are giving to a relationship, a dynamic. We have the Page of Wands as well. Something else might be catching your interest. Something that feels a little bit more hopeful. Like it actually has something, like it has a little bit more of a guarantee behind it, is what I'm hearing. But I think it makes you feel either stupid or immature, or I don't know. Like I think just because you're coming into some bumps in the road around whatever dynamic this is, it's making you really uncertain about what the future is going to look like. And when we're in these times, it's easier to bulldoze ahead so we don't have to look at things too closely in efforts to protect our heart. Sometimes we gaslight ourselves. It's not that bad, or no, this is what I want. It's just a rough patch or whatever. So be really mindful around that. Make sure you're nourishing yourself in healthy ways. And I'm not saying you have to be, like someone who's like you. It's not saying like, I'm not talking about that in a, I don't know, how do I want to put this? Like sometimes we can look at health and wellness through the lens of restriction, right? Like going on extreme diets or, working out for hours on end when you haven't been to the gym in however long, that type of starving yourself, whatever. Like all those things can be really counterintuitive to our nourishment, especially when we are trying to get healthy around something. So Ayurveda is huge into balance, keeping it middle of the road. I've been saying this a lot lately, but this is also the energy that we've been getting in Taurus season, earth energy, where we can find a little bit more grounding and stability in our life. And when we're not going too far in extremes one way or the other, it makes seeing some of these stickier situations way easier, right? It makes the understanding, I apologize. It makes understanding like how we want to navigate through them way easier as well, because it looks like there's components of something that you're not sold on, that you're not necessarily married to, or maybe this is something you are looking to get out of. The Knight of Wands has been popping up a lot for us as well. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. He comes up when the energy can be a little bit fickle, immature. And that's kind of what I'm seeing from this dynamic that you're struggling with, because there's things you like about it and there's things you don't like about it. There's things that feel comforting and comfortable for you, but then there's things that feel like almost like it's not reciprocity. It's not equal give and take. It's like, well, if you want to be with me, then you have to do this, or you have to believe this or think this or feel this way. It's an energy that's been trying to control, maybe even very emotional, maybe even through their emotions, right? Like emotional retaliation is what I'm hearing for some of you. Someone who doesn't emotionally regulate. And then also can like be very immature in the process. So lots of big feelings that the responsibility gets put onto you. And then there's this backlash. Then they punish you at the same time with this Knight of Wands is what I'm seeing. And so for you, it's kind of just like not interesting. It's not interesting. You're showing up. The Fool is in your blocked energy. So like, it's not interesting to the point that you don't even care if you make a stupid decision. Like it's almost like, I don't think you're intentionally self-sabotaging, and I don't know that it would necessarily be self-sabotage if this broke down, because it looks like it's at a point, either you've been in it for so long that you're finally like, enough, like I've just had enough, or I'm so at this point of screw this, like I am gonna go do my own thing. This reminds me a lot of that Page of Wands that just came out. It's also bringing a lot of burden, a lot of stress to you. And again, it's at the expense. It's like someone else's bad behavior. You're paying for their bad behavior. And that's where the projection is coming into play. Their emotions, maybe they don't want to talk about it, or when they do talk about it, it can be a lot. And that is how this harvest moon is playing out. The harvest moon, it's the full moon, so it's like when we are seeing what we've manifested, where our hard work has gotten us. And that's exactly what you are seeing. And like I said, I think there's a little bit more to the story that you need to figure out before you make choices one way or another. I think you've maybe gotten used to someone being a certain way, or you've gotten used to a certain dynamic. And so that's where it might be hard to make a decision. And it also looks like there's a lot of people involved in this as well. I was hearing, I forgot to share, but I was hearing as well, like this, whomever you might be dealing with, whomever, whatever, like it feels like they're getting other people, other energies involved. There might be gossip, getting friends involved, family involved, that type of vibe. And in a way that I feel like has really turned you off in the past. Again, forcing you into this position where it's like you're starting not to really care so much. This might be a pattern, or you might have gotten some backlash with it. Something is like, I don't know, they want you to play it smart. I feel like you're getting advice from someone that is trying to help you look at things in a really rational way. Like, don't do anything stupid. But again, like, I don't know if you're perceiving it as that. It doesn't really look that way to me. If anything, it looks like you're just like, well, this is what's happening, so why wouldn't I do this, right? Like, why wouldn't I? And that, the foolish whatever, that's a little bit tempting. It might be a little bit like an F you. Not that I'm hating Cancer. I actually totally get it 100%. But I think ultimately, whatever wisdom is coming in, or whatever someone's trying to get you to understand, is there is a way to do things, right? Like, we don't have to explode our life just because we've gotten super fed up with it, right? We don't have to throw that grenade in things. There can actually be a way that we can work diplomatically through difficult situations. And it also, like, and I'm saying this as mostly because it's like about your sanity. Like, yes, it might feel like you're letting someone get away with something, but at the same time, it's also your headache, right? That, okay, let's say you do retaliate. Let's say you do something foolish. And then they're like, okay, well, I'm going to do something back to you, and it becomes petty. It becomes a tit for tat. And honestly, I'm saying that because I'm seeing whatever you're dealing with get even more immature, right? Like, two can play that game. It's very, very catty. And that's why it's like, it might feel good momentarily to walk off the cliff into the unknown, but also be mindful of the backlash. The King of Swords definitely thinks through all the steps, all the potential. It reminds me of a chessboard, right? You're not just looking at the next move, you're looking at the next 3, 5, whatever it may be. The whole game, if you can see through that lens. Okay. The wolf and the rose hip, so guardianship. So I'm hearing, like, especially if you're getting advice from either someone like you really respect, you respect the way they think, their opinion, how they are showing up in their own life, or if it's like an elder, I'm hearing like it's good to listen. Again, you can do things in your own way. You don't have to become a doormat or subservient to someone else. But at the same time, I think you're actually hearing there actually is wisdom to be heard that's just going to help you all across the board. Because moving forward, if things continue as they are, it feels like a little bit more of a headache for you than what you're wanting. And it's almost like I'm hearing it then puts the responsibility, the onus on you. Well, you did something stupid, so you're the guilty party, right? And instead of doing that, the dragonfly and the pansy, balance. It's all about balance, baby. Easier said than done, especially when our emotions are getting tampered with, or someone's doing something over and over and over again and it becomes exhausting. but you're overcoming obstacles, the goat and the willow, you're overcoming obstacles in a way that feels more empowering versus disempowering, right? Like doing the spiral, the explosion, you know, and yes, it might feel so freeing to break free from that energy, but at the same time, it also has this component of like, you might be getting yourself stuck in another cycle of karma because of it. Not in the way of you reap what you sow. Maybe that's a part of it. I don't know. But it's more about just like, we go through those harder situations so we can learn, grow, become better versions of ourselves, overcome obstacles, like strengthen things within ourselves and then overcome the obstacle, not explode it. I know that's the wrong word, but not blow it up. Gosh, Deborah, not blow it up, you know, and then, you know, just like hope everything's going to be fine. It usually doesn't happen that way, unfortunately. I've learned those things too. So Cancer, take care of yourself, nourish your heart, nourish your mind, your soul, surround yourself with people who are supportive, who are loving, people that you trust, right? And it's okay to protect yourself. It's okay to protect what's going on in your life, who and what you say things to, keeping your circle really small at this time. It's going to help you feel a little bit more balanced with whatever decisions you're going to be making moving forward. So I hope this helps, Cancer. Godspeed, all the love. Thank you for your time, your energy, always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. Know that it blesses my heart, and I'm sending love and blessings to you always.